Come on.
Okay, there we go. I was like, it went silent for a little bit. Can you hear me?
Awesome, everyone. Welcome back to the Being Mother Hustler podcast. We are so happy today because we have Linda Hall, and Linda and I had already been talking offline here, and I'm like, okay, don't go too deep because I'm already loving what you're saying. So let me just make sure I press record. And I just want to welcome you in this space, Linda, because this space is for someone like yourself who's truly a mother hustler. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having me. Like, I totally agree. Like, when I heard Being Mother Hustler and listened to some of your podcasts and just the name itself, like I mentioned to a few friends, and they're like, oh my God, that's just like you. That totally describes you. So I thought it was
I
perfect.
know
And thank you.
you are so welcome. So tell us about what you're doing now. And I know we started talking about it, and this is what's cool about this podcast is like immediately I have an instant connection with people, even without knowing them prior to the podcast. And I just love getting to know people by recording an episode. And a lot of the
Mhm.
people that I have on my podcast is like probably 70-60% of them are total strangers to me, but for
Mhm.
some reason I have this immediate connection with them because of the fact that we all are in the trenches. We all
Right.
are mothers who are not sacrificing our dreams for motherhood and not sacrificing motherhood for our dreams, if that makes
Right.
sense. So we're running them
Absolutely.
side by side. And I
Mhm.
think there's a new generation of mothers right now that are like you and me. So tell us what Linda is up to right now, and why is it that you do this? Like, why do you wake up every day and do this?
Well, I am the founder of Inclusion ClubHouse, and our mission is to open a recreational facility that caters to families of children with special needs, a place that is all inclusive, that caters to the least capable child to the most capable, something where we as parents who are juggling and hustling to fit it all in can find something under one roof for all of their kids. You know, I have my oldest is going to be 21 this month, believe it or not. I'm still like choking up about that, but she is going to be 21. She has cerebral palsy. March is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. And so it's kind of ironic, but she is in a wheelchair. She's in a diaper. She is nonverbal. She basically requires assistance with everything. And so she's like I call her my forever baby. And then I have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So, I mean, I'm juggling lots all the time. And so finding a space where, you know, there's things for her to do, you know, basketball, soccer, dance, whatever, so that everyone is busy, as well as a place where parents can come together and and connect with other parents who are maybe going through the same things they're going through, feeling the same things, just so that they know that they're not alone. Like, we're not the only ones trying to do this. We're not the only ones juggling. And so yeah, so that's my hustle.
That's awesome. You know, I know how hard, and you probably don't, a lot of us don't really know a lot of difference because we can only relate to what we have in our current situation.
Mhm.
And I want you to sort of define what a day of a palsy
Palsy.
mom
Mhm.
would look like, because, you know, when you have a special needs child and you've been with your forever baby for 21 years, and kudos to you because you look amazing. And I know this
Thank
is a
you.
challenge, but a lot of us, when we are given a challenge as a mom, it's we just dance with it. And so
Mhm.
you look very graceful just in the short period of time that I've known you.
Thank you.
But I know it's not easy, and nothing
Mm.
ever comes easy. So tell us a little bit about what that day looks like, or what your life looks like, just to paint a picture for some of us that don't know any different, so we can sort of relate to you.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, each child with cerebral palsy is very different, just like we as individuals are different, even though we may have some similarities. My daughter, cerebral palsy to her is, well, what happened is in utero, something happened during development where her brain didn't completely form. And so she has a hard time, like the message is getting from one side of the brain to the other. So she doesn't walk. She doesn't talk. She is in a diaper. I have to feed her. She doesn't chew her food, so I have to make sure that it's really carefully cut. And so basically, everything for her is with assistance. So wake up in the morning, get her out of bed, put her on the potty. I'm getting her dressed while she's on the potty, giving her her meds, combing her hair, brushing her teeth, and then getting her off to school on the bus. She goes to a day she's still in school because here we're in Los Angeles. They are able to stay in school till the age of 22, kind of like as if they were in college. And so she's kind of like at a career and transition center. So they work on life skills and job skills. And I believe the class she's in, she has one class where they knit, and then she has another class where it's like a film class. So she's learning different parts of filming. So a lot of times they have her in their little short films and things, and she really enjoys being on camera. And she loves music and dancing. And so a lot of times, I know it's hard because she doesn't communicate. She's nonverbal, but her facial expressions and the looks she gives me, and she'll like yell at me, or she'll pull for me, or she'll grab for people. It's a little frustrating at times because, like I said, it's like, when your baby's sick and they're crying and you can't figure out what's wrong, and you've got to go through all of this stuff just to try to calm them down and soothe them. It's kind of like the same thing with her. It's like, okay, that face, what does that mean? What does she mean by that look? Is she just annoyed by me? And like, is something bothering her? And then puberty and hormones. And she also has seizures and a movement disorder. So there's a lot that we have to deal with. And, and then she has siblings who are also needing of attention and wanting of attention. And the crazy thing is that a lot of times they require more attention than she does because like they're so needy. And like a lot of times I'm like, dude, look, or, hey, your sister can't, and I need, and and it's a juggling act, and just trying to make sure that everyone's accommodated and everyone feels loved and they're getting equal attention. And I think that as moms, we're really hard on ourselves when we can't do everything and when we can't do it perfectly. And so it's kind of
Wow. I love you so much because you are telling the story as if it's just like our normal day. And it takes a special mother like yourself to truly have somebody that is a special needs child like your daughter. Can you tell me what your daughter's name is?
Yes, her name is Djanai.
Djanai.
Her name is Djanai, and she's my inspiration for so much, because I think that as people, we take so much for granted. And I just look at her and just think of all of what I need to do for her. And I say, like, and she's just happy all the time. She is smiling and she is so lovable and loving, and she just wants to be hugged and kissed, and she reaches out for everyone and wants to give everyone a hug. And vibes are definitely big because she can sense if someone, she can sense someone's vibe, and she'll pull you close if she thinks you're warm. And if you're giving her a look, she might look at you like, but if she's also inviting and welcoming. And I just think to myself, I mean, I remember, I was about 19 and I got into a really bad car accident, and I was in a wheelchair for like 3 months. I had punctured my lung and lacerated my kidney, fractured my pelvis. Like, it was a mess. And I remember what it was like to not be able to breathe at full capacity or to be able to walk. And I, am able to like relate to her on some level, like that need for help and assistance and maybe not always wanting it. And I can't imagine. I mean, was in that state for such a short period of time. I can't imagine having to go my whole life, and not being able to do anything for myself and fully depending on someone else. So for me, why I do what I do is because I feel like we all have a purpose and we all will be able to leave a legacy behind, whether it's our name, whether it's something we do, how we touch people, how people remember us. And for her, it's only what we can do for her. Like, it's only what we allow her to experience. So for me, I want her to be able to have a legacy. I want to be her voice. I want people to know that her life here had purpose, and her purpose is to bring people together. Inclusion ClubHouse is about bringing communities together and bringing families together. And for her Sweet 16, we started our Special Needs Family Prom. And, this is our 6th year going, and it's grown. And so every year we find a way to bring people together around her birthday, to raise awareness for cerebral palsy, to bring kids with special needs, like to try different things. We've done everything from like a kids karaoke to this year for her birthday, we're doing a Lovecella. So like a mini Coachella for her 21st birthday, and, inviting like all of her friends and doing a concert. And
so cute.
Yeah, so it's just amazing how she responds when we do these things and we bring her to prom, and like she's on the red carpet and, she's taking pictures and she feels like such a celebrity. And it's great to see all of them dancing on the dance floor. It's things like it, when other people from the community come together and see, like, it really helps people put their lives in perspective. Like, you can put your pants on one leg at a time, tie your shoes, feed yourself, and a lot of times we complain about like dumb things, like I'm having a bad hair day, or like you're annoyed because someone cut you off, or, like things that really are so irrelevant. Yeah. And I think that she always keeps me in check, as far as like, she's a constant reminder of what, to be thankful for. And literally that's just everything,
Wow, sister, I'm so impressed by just your joy of being your daughter's voice, because I do want to know, obviously she is part of your purpose.
Yeah.
And I do want to know, how do you define your voice from her voice? Because with her being nonverbal, you are her voice. So how does Linda transmit her own voice in synchronicity with her daughter's voice?
Well, I think we have a lot of, our voices are the same. It's about connecting people and bringing people together. And I think we both, it's funny, we're both Aries. And so we both have that fire within us and that love for people and just connecting people and enjoying life and living. And even though she has limitations as far as what she can do, I just know that whatever we do, she's excited and she's happy, and and that's who I am too. I'm excited to be out and talking to people and bringing people together. And as much as prom and these events are for her, they give me life. Like, I love seeing I feel the spirit and the joy of all the kids, and I feel the hope that it brings to parents. I've had parents tell me that they never imagined their child attending an event like that. I mean, because we don't pull any punches with prom. Like, we go all the way, and it's
Yes.
amazing for them. And we've even had sponsors donate suits, and the last 2 years we had the Rocks suit designer, Robert Matza, make suits for us, for the boys. And it's just amazing how we can bring people together. And this year we've got some amazing news. We're partnering with some amazing people, and we're going to be able to start bringing programs and more events. Like, we have, like I was saying, Love Cella for Djanai's 21st. In April, we're doing a big for autism awareness. We're doing a culture and inclusion festival, which is going to include like an all-inclusive fashion show, and then we have prom in June. So there's just so much. And for me, like, my husband thinks that I'm crazy, and he's like, you gotta, you can't live to work, you work to live. And I'm like, hey, but I've also heard that, if you love what you do, you're not working. And that's what he says. A lot. He says that a lot. And it's true. I absolutely love what I'm doing. I love bringing hope. And most of our events too, we try to make sure that we incorporate those with special needs, like behind it. Like, if we need performers, and there are performers with special needs, with autism or Down syndrome or whatever spectrum they're on, we invite them to perform. We've had special needs DJs. We've had wheelchair dancers. So we love to incorporate the community and empower them to be their best version of themselves. And so I think that is the key, as far as my vision and my purpose, is just offering hope. And I think maybe that's the difference. But I think that she also brings hope to those with special needs as well. So I think our voices kind of blend.
Wow, that's really amazing, and I commend you for doing all that. And I think you might have a lot of talent in events planning too, but like you said, it's just blending in with being your daughter's voice and having your voice in there through her, through taking care of her as a mom. So I'm so happy. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they said that if you're going to put your eggs in one basket, don't make it you. Like, a lot of us just are so selfish, like, I've been there when I wasn't in service all the time, and I was more of like a selfish person / cocky person. And, I've been through a spiritual journey where it really awoke in me, and it started giving me a different perspective in life and a different mindset. And I haven't been the happiest that I've ever been until I gave people recognition, until I offered my life in service to help other people, and not just to put all my eggs in one basket, which is myself. Being a selfish person, I think that's what we do, because we are not taught to always serve others, and to learn that it's not about us, because when other people are winning, that we are helping, then we have more meaning in this life, right? And to be able to be philanthropic with either your time, your coaching. I'm a coach, and I coach a lot of people initially for free. And some people can't afford my coaching, but I still give them coaching. And so it's that philanthropic side of me that I'm just so happy to help, period, in a story. And I just love how you describe and you light up when you talk about the events that you're throwing, when you're inspiring other kids or other parents, really, to, we have our own dreams as an individual, and we have our own dreams for our children. And I think as a special needs parent, what I'm gathering from you is that the other parents that you're associating with that are also special needs parents are truly very excited about the events that you're throwing, because they have this dream that it was impossible before, and now you're throwing the Love Cella, and you're throwing through your nonprofit, providing, like I am, a space for mom hustlers, for mother hustlers. You're providing a space not only for parents, but for other kids that really don't feel like they belong in a normal society because they're special. So you're making, I think, making them feel normal, you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
at the same time special. So kudos to you for doing that.
Thank you.
How did you, how was your childhood? Like how, because I know you're in LA and I used to live in LA. Where are you in LA?
Well, I'm in the Valley, so we're like in Sherman Oaks.
Oh yeah. I used to go there too. So how was your childhood growing up? Because you're so kind, and I feel like I want to hear how you were raised by your parents, mom, dad, whatever. Because I think a lot of our childhood have a correlation of who we are
Mm-hmm.
or who we become as an adult. How was that? Where did you grow up, and how was your upbringing?
Well, I grew up in Massachusetts, so on the East
Mm-hmm.
Coast. And I am the oldest of four. I'm actually the oldest of like my whole family, like on my dad's side, as far as like all of the cousins and um, first generation American as well. My dad is from the Cape Verdean Islands, and my mom is from the Azores Islands. So we're all islanders. My dad's off the west coast of Africa, my mom off the west coast of Portugal, and very old school tradition. Uh, Dad's very protective. You know, mom was very much the house